some of the old office buildings and the old cars in front of them, seeing the names and the trucks that were used and the different logos, and just kind of nostalgic. And here's a picture from the 50s in Minneapolis of an office move for a client that we did. And coincidentally, a couple years ago, we moved that same company again. And they actually showed us the pictures from their move back then and using the same company. So moving multiple companies over 50 years, 60 years, 70 years is pretty cool. This is Beltmann Co., North American Van Lines. And it's so cool just because we've come so far, but it's really not that much different than how we do things today. I mean, we have straight trucks, big overhead attics to fill as much house of goods into them as possible. We have trailers that to this day have wooden vaults just like these that we keep in our warehouse and stack on top of each other. So much of the business, even though we've come a long ways and grown a tremendous amount, it just, not much is that different, you know? Even though you have technology and all that other stuff, at the end of the day, it's as they say, we sweat for a living. So this reflects that. I think it's just a cool picture. So my grandfather, George Battina, started his company, A1 Moving and Storage, in 1955 in Des Moines, Iowa. And in 1959, he wanted to expand, and so he ended up acquiring a company called Beltmann Moving and Storage in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And that was started by Al Beltmann in 1923. And it had a really good name up in the Minneapolis market, high quality. And so my grandfather, who started A1 Moving and Storage, he wasn't the type of guy that wanted his name on the side of the truck. So it's a lot of family moving businesses around the country, and generally oftentimes they have their name on it. He didn't necessarily want to do that. He thought the company had a great name established already in Minneapolis, and then from there, as the business expanded and other locations were added to the map, like Chicago, Kansas City, some Florida locations, it went to Beltmann Moving and Storage across the country. From there, it went to Beltmann North American Van Lines. Then, as my father expanded it coast to coast, it went to the name changed to Beltmann Group. In 2010, I became president, changed the name to Beltmann Relocation Group to put a little bit better understanding of what we do in the name, and we've become the largest North American van lines agent. The odds on a third generation company lasting into the third generation is very limited. So then you add on top of that 100 years, it's really a pretty special milestone. One of the things that I'm most proud of is, we're a dominant player nationally in the moving industry. And going from a single location in Des Moines, Iowa, expanding to Minneapolis, and then becoming the largest North American van lines agent, and then becoming one of the largest moving companies in the country, and now having 16 locations, over $225 million in revenue, in 100 years, you start thinking, wow, how did this happen, right? I'd like to thank all of our employees, number one, all of our owner-operators, drivers, crews, packers. Without them, we just would not be able to do this. And in addition to that, all of our clients and our customers. They've trusted us to move their employees, move their families, move their businesses. And again, without them, we wouldn't be able to reach this milestone.